Anxiety has a strange nature. The more you fight it, the more it grows. The more you chase calm, the further it runs. Think about your own days, the inbox that never ends, the constant vibration of your phone, deadlines stacked like weights on your chest, a restless mind that replays what might go wrong. You tell yourself, "I need to relax." Yet the very effort to relax tightens the knot. This is the paradox of control. You do not escape anxiety by force. You do not silence the storm by shouting at the clouds. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or no, I discarded it because it was within me. The emperor understood something we often forget. Anxiety does not come from events. It comes from judgments, from the way the mind interprets the world. A traffic jam does not create anxiety. Your thought, "I'll be late, my boss will be angry," creates it. A friend's silence does not create anxiety. Your story, "They must be upset with me," creates it. The Stoics never promised a world without storms. They promised a way to stand firm inside the storm, not through chance, not through luck, through choice. This is where the truth begins to unfold. Anxiety is not a random visitor. It is the result of patterns. Patterns repeated day after day. Small choices that accumulate. Choices that keep the mind restless. Consider this. Each time you reach for your phone before you rise from bed, you teach your mind to expect noise before silence. Each time you avoid a small discomfort, you teach your mind to fear every challenge. Each time you react without reflection, you teach your mind to be a prisoner of impulse. No wonder calm feels distant. It is not missing, it is crowded out. Here lies the quiet power of daily choice. Calmness is not found in a single moment of meditation. It is built in the small, steady decisions that shape the rhythm of your life. Epictetus reminded his students, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Opinions can be changed, reactions can be slowed, habits can be reshaped. The question is not whether anxiety will appear. The question is, when it does, what choice will you make? If you choose the same as yesterday, you will feel the same as yesterday. If you choose differently, a new path opens. This is not theory. This is practice. 5 choices, 5 deliberate steps, each one simple, each one within reach. Together, they shift the weight of your mind. Stay with me, because in the next moments, you will see how 5 daily choices can transform anxiety into calm. Stoic Insight. Why anxiety persists. Anxiety lingers because we mistake its source. We blame the meeting tomorrow. We blame the bill that waits unopened. We blame the silence of a friend who hasn't replied. Yet Marcus Aurelius saw the truth. Today I escaped anxiety. Or no, I discarded it because it was within me. Within me. Not outside. Not in the traffic jam, or the office, or the bank account. Anxiety is born in interpretation. In the story we tell ourselves about what happens. The Stoics repeated this lesson. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. It is not the flight delay, but the thought, 'My whole day is ruined.' It is not the unexpected bill, but the thought, 'I will never get out of this.' The weight is not the event. The weight is the judgment." Modern life in America shows this clearly. We live with more comfort than any empire before us. Running water, food within reach, shelter against the cold. And yet, anxiety has not vanished. It has multiplied. Why? Because comfort has not brought clarity. It has only given us more to chase. A bigger house, a better job title, children in the right schools, vacations worthy of social media. Even when needs are met, the mind invents new ones. We have confused activity with progress, busyness with meaning, noise with significance. We rush through the day, never stopping to ask if the rushing serves us. The Stoics warned against this. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. We waste it in restless striving, in fears that tomorrow will collapse unless today is perfect." This is why anxiety persists. Not because life is harder than before, but because we carry it poorly. We load our minds with demands that no person could satisfy. We want certainty in an uncertain world. We want approval from people who barely know us. We want control over events that never belong to us. The burden, then, is not the load. The burden is how we carry the load. Two men face the same storm. One curses the rain, the other thanks the ground for the water. The event is equal, the interpretation is not. The Stoics trained for this difference. They practiced voluntary discomfort so that hardship would not frighten them. They practiced reflection so that judgments would not rule them. They practiced silence so that noise would not disturb them. Anxiety is not permanent, it is a habit of mind. And like any habit, it can be unlearned. The starting point is to recognize its true source. Not the email, not the phone call, not the future. It is the thought that clings to each of these, whispering, "I cannot handle this." Marcus Aurelius, facing wars, plagues, betrayal, and the weight of an empire, still wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The emperor knew what we forget. Events will not change for us, but our stance toward them can. We cannot erase uncertainty. We cannot erase loss. We cannot erase judgmental eyes. Yet we can choose a new posture toward them. This is where calm begins. Not in the removal of storms, but in the reshaping of perception. Not in waiting for silence, but in creating it within. Not in chasing control, but in releasing what was never ours. Anxiety persists because we rehearse it daily. We wake and feed it with distraction. We work and feed it with comparison. We sleep and feed it with regret. But choice by choice, the rehearsal can end, and a new practice can begin. The 5 daily choices, Stoic practices in Action 1. Choose focus over distraction. Every morning offers a quiet fork in the road. Before the first headline, before the inbox, before the scroll, you decide who owns your attention. Most people hand it away. A thumb swipes, a feed refreshes, a brain splits into fragments. The day starts as noise. It often ends as noise. The Stoics would call this poverty, not of money, of mind. Attention is life's currency. Where you spend it, your life is spent. Waste the coin, waste the day. Guard the coin, guard the mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders to himself at dawn. Short lines, firm tone, a personal contract. Do not leak the hours. Do the work that matters. Remember what is within control. He did not wait for silence to arrive. He created it. Begin there. Before you touch the phone, silence the alerts. Set the device in another room. Brew a cup. Sit upright. Open a real book. 10 minutes. No skipping. Read slowly. Mark one idea. Ask one question. How will I practice this today? This ritual is small. The effect is not. Distraction scatters the mind. Scattered minds feel fragile. Focus gathers the mind. Gathered minds feel calm. Why does this reduce anxiety? Because anxiety loves chaos. It feeds on unfinished loops. Every notification is a loop. Every half-read message is a loop. Your brain tracks loops like open tabs. The more tabs, the louder the buzz. Focus closes tabs. One task, one page. One clear breath. Design the first hour on purpose. Set 3 simple rules. No phone for 30 minutes. No news before work. No multitasking while you eat. Eat slowly. Taste the food. Look out the window. Let the senses anchor you to something real. Work begins. Keep the posture. Choose a single target. Write it on paper. Block 30 minutes. Deep work, then a short pause. Repeat this cycle 2 or 3 times. Small sprints, clear wins. The mind trusts itself again. Guard the inputs during the day. Mute group chats that rarely matter. Unsubscribe from a few loud newsletters. Keep the home screen clean. 2 rows, not 6. Make it harder to reach the thing that hijacks you. This is not harsh, it is merciful. You free your attention from cheap auctions. You return it to what you value. Health, family, craft. Anxiety softens when the path narrows. Ask yourself each morning, who spends my attention today? Me or the crowd? Choose focus. Choose ownership. A calm day is not an accident. It is a budget well kept. 2. Choose voluntary discomfort over constant ease. Seneca gave his students a strange drill. Set aside a certain number of days, he wrote, content with the scantiest fare and rough clothing, asking yourself, is this what I feared? He did not worship pain, he trained freedom. Anxiety grows where comfort becomes a cage. Modern life in America shows this daily. Heated seats, same-day shipping, food on demand. A small delay now feels like insult. A small bill feels like threat. Ease raises expectations faster than it raises strength. The Stoic breaks this spell. Enter discomfort on purpose. Cold water for 1 minute. Skip 1 meal each week. Take the stairs. Park far from the door. Carry your own bags. Do the hard call first. Leave the jacket at home on a mild day. Walk in the wind. Let the weather touch your skin. Remember what you are made of. Each practice is a message to the nervous system. You can do hard things. You will not break. Fear shrinks when the body learns this truth. Notice the side effects. Food tastes richer after a short fast. A warm shower feels like kindness after a cold one. A simple walk clears the head more than a crowded gym. Gratitude rises. Entitlement falls. Anxiety loses fuel. Design a monthly humility weekend. Sleep on the floor with a blanket. Cook plain food. No sugar, no apps, no streaming. Read by a small lamp. Take a slow walk at night. Ask yourself, is this enough? Most people discover a clean yes. That yes dismantles fear. If this is enough, then future loss cannot own me. Create a small rotation for weekdays. Monday, cold shower finisher. Tuesday, skip snacks after lunch. Wednesday, bike or walk to an errand. Thursday, 5 minutes of wall sits or planks. Friday, the tough conversation before noon. Keep the doses light. Keep the promises firm. Consistency beats intensity. This choice also toughens decisions at work. You can deliver hard feedback without cruelty. You can take an honest risk without panic because you train discomfort in low-stakes settings. The muscle exists before the crisis arrives. Caution matters. Do not harm the body. Discomfort is a teacher, not a punishment. Choose small doses. Be consistent. Pair each challenge with a note of reflection. What did I fear? What did I learn? Seneca's question remains a key. Is this what I feared? Ask it in the shower. Ask it when hunger knocks. Say it with a calm voice. Soon, the feared thing becomes a familiar hallway. You walk through, you keep walking. Anxiety stays behind, puzzled, with nothing left to threaten. 3. Choose reflection over reaction. Epictetus left a simple map. It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them. Events strike. The cut is our judgment. The scar is our habit. Modern days compress the gap between stimulus and reply. A ping, a glare, a rumor on Slack, an eyebrow lifts in a meeting. Your heart jumps, your fingers type. Soon a message flies that you cannot recall. Anxiety blooms after the send button. We want to unwind the thread. We cannot. The remedy is a pause you can trust. Install a rule. No fast replies under heat. Create a card you carry or pin near the desk. 3 lines. 3 questions. What actually happened? What I am telling myself? How sure is that story? This is not therapy. It is craftsmanship. You fashion a clean sentence. You test the grain. In doing so, you slow the blood. You cool the head. Write it down when possible. Paper lowers the volume. Use a cheap notebook. Half a page is enough. Describe the event in plain words. No adjectives, no blame. Then the belief. Then the doubt. You will often find the mind holding a flimsy thread. The knot looks big. The fiber is thin. Practice this in small moments. First, traffic merges. Someone cuts in. The story forms. Disrespect. Always me. Pause. Ask the 3 lines. What happened? A car moved ahead. My story. They aimed to insult me. Certainty. Low. I cannot know their mind. Breath returns. The wheel steadies. The mood survives. Extend the pause to work conflicts. Before you defend, repeat the map. Ask for one piece of evidence. Ask for one missing fact. Seek the calmest interpretation that fits the data. Calm is not denial. Calm is accuracy. Give your nervous system a physical cue. Touch the tabletop with all 5 fingers. Feel the texture. Name 5 objects you can see. Name 4 sounds you can hear. This grounds the body while the mind checks the story. Over time, reaction loses its throne. Reflection becomes the default setting. You do not swallow every hook. You do not chase every fire. You become slow in the best way. Measured, clear, hard to provoke. Epictetus began life as a slave. He could not control the whip or the master. He learned control over judgment. That control turned into inner freedom. You can begin the same way. Today, in small moments, trade the first spark for a second thought. Trade the rush for a breath. Trade the impulse for a choice. Anxiety cannot rule where reflection stands guard. 4. Choose gratitude over restlessness. Restlessness thrives on what is missing. The mind circles the job not yet achieved, the house not yet bought, the approval not yet given. It runs endless laps around the gap between now and later. The Stoics cut through this chase with a simple blade. Gratitude, not as decoration, as discipline. Each evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Not abstract, not grand. The coffee that warmed your hands this morning, the conversation that eased your heart, the breath you are taking now, steady and free. This is not sentiment. It is perception training. Anxiety feeds on absence. Gratitude feeds on presence. One leaves you chasing, the other lets you rest. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." Gratitude anchors you here. It says, "This is already enough." The mind that knows enough is a mind that calms. Modern life urges the opposite. Ads whisper, "You are incomplete until you buy this." Work whispers, "You are behind until you achieve that." Social feeds whisper, "You are lacking until you look like them." Gratitude answers with silence. It says, "I am already whole." Design a ritual before sleep. Keep a small notebook by your bed. No phone, no glow, just paper and pen. Write 3 lines. Name what today gave you, not what tomorrow might give. Close the book. Let the mind soften. The practice is brief. The result is weighty. You train the nervous system to scan for abundance instead of deficit. You change the daily headline from "not enough" to "already here." Anxiety cannot hold its ground when the soil beneath is gratitude. Restlessness may knock. You will answer with memory of fullness. Ask yourself tonight, what can I thank this day for? Let that be the last thought before sleep. Let calmness enter with it. 5. Choose silence over noise. Noise surrounds modern life. Televisions hum in every room. Podcasts fill commutes. Notifications tug at the sleeve of every spare moment. the world shouts, and the mind forgets how to hear itself. Marcus Aurelius left a reminder: nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. The emperor led armies, judged disputes, faced plagues, yet his counsel was to retreat inward, where silence still lives. We confuse sound with life. We fear quiet as emptiness. Yet quiet is not empty. Quiet is fertile. It is the ground where thought takes root, where calm grows strong. Begin with 5 minutes. Turn off the television. Put the phone in another room. Sit. No music, no podcasts, no screen glow. Just your breath. Just the hum of your own presence. At first, silence may feel loud. The mind will race. Lists will appear. Memories will surface. Do not fight them. Do not follow them. Let them pass, as clouds pass. The silence is not broken by thoughts. The silence is broken only when you chase them. Practice daily. Increase slowly. 5 minutes becomes 10. 10 becomes 15. Not as endurance, but as return. Return to yourself. Noise hands control of your mood to the world. Silence hands it back to you. Noise multiplies anxiety, for every sound demands judgment. Silence dissolves anxiety, for nothing needs to be judged. You cannot always control the outer world, but you can always carve a pocket of stillness inside. Even in a crowded house, even in a busy city, the retreat is portable because it lives in you. When anxiety rises, try this. Step away. Close your eyes for 3 breaths. Release the noise outside. Step into the chamber. Marcus described the chamber of your own soul. Ask yourself, do I truly need more input, or do I need less? Often the answer is less. Less noise, more silence, less storm, more sky. Calmness is not given by the world. It is given by the space you allow within. Anxiety is not your enemy. It is a signal, a light on the dashboard. It does not mean you are broken. It means some choice, repeated too often, is feeding unrest. Perhaps it is the choice to give attention away. Perhaps it is the choice to cling to comfort. Perhaps it is the choice to react too quickly. Perhaps it is the choice to overlook gratitude. Perhaps it is the choice to drown in noise. Each one is small. Each one feels harmless. But together, they shape the climate of the mind. And the climate decides the weather of your days. The Stoics knew this. They did not speak of calm as a miracle. They spoke of it as a practice, a steady alignment of daily acts with reason, a pattern repeated until it feels like nature. Calm is not given, calm is grown. Not in one weekend retreat, not in one deep breath, but in the quiet sum of daily choices. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, plagues, betrayal, and the loneliness of power. He wrote not to escape these, but to face them without collapse. His journal was a record of choice. Choice to pause, choice to reflect, choice to return to what is within his control. Seneca lived with wealth and with exile. He practiced poverty on purpose, not to impress, but to prove that fear had no hold. His calm was built, not bought. Epictetus began as a slave. His body could be chained, his mind could not. Because he chose judgment carefully, he chose not to hand it to others. 3 lives, 3 conditions. The common thread was not fortune, it was daily choice. So the invitation is simple. This week, choose just one. Choose focus. 10 minutes without your phone at dawn. Choose discomfort, a cold shower or a skipped meal. Choose reflection. Write 3 lines before you reply. Choose gratitude. List 3 gifts before sleep. Choose silence. 5 minutes without screens. 1 choice. Not all 5. 1. Watch what happens. Do not expect fireworks. Do not expect the disappearance of all anxiety. Expect something quieter, a small shift in weight, a breath that feels deeper, a mind that feels less crowded. This is how change begins, not with drama, with consistency, with the courage to do something simple again and again. The world will not grow calmer for you. The headlines will not soften. The deadlines will not vanish. The noise will not fade. But your posture within them can change. The Stoic does not wait for the world to be calm. He chooses calm in the midst of the world. That is your power. That is your freedom. Not to erase storms, but to stand steady inside them. Not to silence every fear, but to choose which voice to answer. Not to escape life, but to live it with a mind that cannot be stolen. When anxiety rises again, and it will remember this truth, you are not at the mercy of feelings. You are not at the mercy of events. You are at the mercy of choice, and choice belongs to you.